Although we've so far concentrated on the UK, Cereal Partners was also developing its strategy in other European countries. It did this on a phased basis. France, Spain and Portugal were entered in 1991. Italy followed in 1992, then came Germany in 1993 and Benelux in 1995. Other Western European countries then followed, with Russia and Central Europe by year 2000. Importantly, it was only in the UK that Cereal Partners acquired a company. For the rest of Europe, it developed new breakfast cereals, in some cases the same as in the UK. An important part of the Cereal Partners strategy was to vary the product range launched in each country. There were two reasons for this. First, to meet differences in national demand for breakfast cereals. For example, children's products in one country, staple products in another. Second, to keep Kellogg's guessing as to which products and which segments would be under competitive attack during the launch. Cereal Partners never launched shredded wheat outside the UK, and it never launched a cornflake product in Europe. From a strategy perspective, you might like to think about why Cereal Partners didn't launch cornflakes in Europe, and why, nevertheless, it went on to launch cornflakes in some Asian markets. There are useful strategic principles here that are answered in a later section of this case. Turning to the future from a strategy perspective, there are some important considerations that apply now. They are particularly useful when considering emergent strategies. The breakfast cereal market is changing, with a demand for healthy eating from some customers. This means developing products that have lower sugar, lower fat, more fruit, and perhaps products with a healthy image like yoghurt. And there's also a growing demand for products that don't require sitting down and having a meal at breakfast time. As people's lives become busier and the traditional concept of a family breakfast diminishes, some people don't want to take time for a sit-down breakfast meal. Both Kellogg's and Cereal Partners have responded to these trends by launching new breakfast bars. And there are probably also other products that they could launch into this area. This is a new approach and a new phase for breakfast cereal strategy. It probably means experimenting with new products to find those that have the most demand. So let's summarise the strategic issues at the end of this section of the battle for the breakfast cereal market. Each of them can be explored using chapters from the book. How would you analyse the strategic environment for breakfast cereals? From the perspective of Cereal Partners, what strategic resources did it bring to the marketplace? What are its competitive advantages, and where was the value added? What was Cereal Partners' strategic purpose? What were its vision, mission, and objectives, and over what timescale? What strategic options were available to Cereal Partners to achieve its objectives, from both a prescriptive and an emergent perspective? You might want to look at prescriptive options and also emergent options, and for emergent options, you might like to explore particularly the learning-based strategic route forward. What choice did Cereal Partners make from a prescriptive perspective? And what is the strategic reasoning behind such a choice? And finally, what was the evidence of an emergent strategic process here? What experimentation and dynamic happened in the marketplace? The next sections of this video explore these issues, but you might like to pause first, look back at the last two sections, and arrive at your own conclusions.